Hey guys, this is Paul Freeman here again. Sorry it's been so long since I came on here, but we had a lot of crazy things happening in between, and so I'm going to try to do better and try to do 2 or 3 of these videos a month. So hopefully I'll actually accomplish that goal. Alright, this is the 3rd video in the My Freedom Journey series, and we're talking about, can we be born gay? Okay? So from the last video, we know that God is the one who creates us, and He doesn't make us gay. He would never create us in such a way that we couldn't be who He created us to be and still walk in righteousness. He would never create us to be a thief or a murderer or a fornicator, because He says in His Word that those things are sin. And in the same way, He would never create us to be gay, because He says in His Word that homosexuality is a sin. So we can't be born gay because we can't really be gay, because God is the one who made us, so He gets to determine who we are. If we think we're gay, we're being deceived by the enemy. But can we be born thinking we're gay? In a way, yes. As babies, we don't really have any concept of what it means to be gay, but we can be born thinking something is wrong with us, especially if our parents wanted a baby of a certain sex and they got the opposite. Maybe they continued to communicate that later in life, or maybe it was just that rejection that you felt actually there in the womb. And that could make you start having feelings that we're born the wrong sex, and that could lead to us feeling like we're gay. And if I was supposed to be a girl and girls are supposed to be attracted to guys, then I'm supposed to be attracted to guys. I'm supposed to be gay, right? Makes logical sense, but it's not right, okay? In my story, a lot of that same stuff did actually apply. I know it sounds crazy that in the womb that a baby can be affected and feel rejection and start thinking that they're gay. But God showed me in an inner healing session one time that that's what happened with me. So God took me to this time in my life. I was about 10 years old, and during that time when I would start be half awake or half asleep, either going to sleep or waking up, a lot of times I'd hear this gurgling noise, and it was like it's like, okay, yeah, I know it sounds weird, but that would happen. So I was like, I have no idea what that is. But during that inner healing session, God showed me that was actually when I was in the womb, and my parents were, when my mom was telling my dad that she was pregnant with me, they got into an argument. And so my dad cursed and said, "We can't afford another baby." And they were arguing over whose fault it was that they were pregnant, had this baby. So yeah, in the womb I was hearing that. So that sound, that was my dad, and that was my mom, and they were arguing back and forth. Okay? And so I in the womb I felt that rejection, and as far as wanting a girl and getting a boy, that also happened in my life. One time while I was looking at some pictures of my mom and I were looking at some pictures of my sister when she was a baby, and my mom said that she had always hoped that she was gonna, she always liked when she had my sister, because she could dress her up in pretty little dresses like a doll, and she just really liked being able to do that. And so with the next children, there were 4 of us born in 4 years. So boom, 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 right? So with the next children, when my sister started to get a little older, especially, she was hoping that she was going to have another girl, so that she could do the same thing, dress her up in little dresses like that. But and when she was pregnant with me, she was sure that she was going to get another girl, but she didn't. It was boy after boy after boy. And as she was pregnant with me, she was convinced that I was going to be a girl, and she had a name picked out for me, which was Wendy. And she didn't even bother to pick out a boy name because she was so convinced that I was going to be a girl. She really wanted me to be a girl. And through this, the enemy convinced me that since my mom wanted me to be a girl, I was supposed to be a girl. And what a beginning, right? Cursed by my dad, unwanted because they couldn't afford me, and born the wrong sex. So this is life. Wow. Wow. Yeah. So throughout my life, that was kind of reinforced. So since I thought I was supposed to be a girl, I started to develop a lot of feminine characteristics. That's when people began to tease me and call me a sissy and a fag and queer and stuff like that. I was sensitive, and I would cry with other people when they were crying, and men don't cry. And I liked flowers and drawing and dancing, even ballet. Yeah. And acting and singing, any kind of performing arts. Being creative. I didn't like hunting or fishing or cussing or working on cars. I didn't fit into the man's world around me. I thought I had to be gay. God had made some kind of mistake when he made me. He mistakenly put a girl in a boy's body. I had no choice except to be the girl that I was supposed to be. I had no choice except to be attracted to guys. I had no choice except to be gay. At least, that's what I thought. But I was wrong. God has shown me through the years that he loves me and he wants me, and that he didn't make any mistakes when he made me. He also gave me free will. So I'm free to choose my sexual orientation. God gives us all that same freedom to choose. People say, I don't have a choice. This is how God made me. God always gives us a choice. He gave us free will. We're free to make the right choice, or we're free to make the wrong choice, but we're free to choose. I believe that when we're free, sorry, I messed up there a little bit. I believe that when we're free from the lies of the enemy and really free to choose, that we'll choose God's kind of sexuality. So, how does this apply to you? If you've been thinking that you're gay and that you don't have any choice about it because you were born that way, you might want to take that to God and ask him to show you what is really true about you. What does he think about you? What does the Bible say about you? I pray that as you do that, that you'll find the freedom that God has for you. All right. So next time, I'm going to just take a few minutes to talk about zombies. Yeah. If you think this video series might be helpful to someone that you know, or that someone that they might know, that please share it or repost it, however that works. And thank you so much for watching and sharing, and I'll see you next time. God bless you.